President Rodrigo Duterte will place Metro Manila on lockdown for at least 30 days to contain the spread of the novel coronavirus in the Philippines.
For Manila, may ayaw namin gamitin yan, pero kasi takot kasi sabihin lockdown. But it's a lockdown. There is no struggle of power here. Walang away dito, walang gera. It's just a matter of protecting and defending you from COVID-19.
He also raises Code Red Sublevel to Thursday, March 12, marking the first massive lockdown in the country in recent history. Duterte's order is based on the resolution of the Interagency Task Force on the outbreak. The president also announces class suspension for all levels in Metro Manila until April 12. Work for the executive branch of the government is also suspended, but skeletal staffing can be implemented to ensure government work will continue. Land, domestic air, and domestic sea travel to and from Metro Manila will also be suspended from March 15 until April 14. The president also talks about localized community quarantine, giving guidelines when to impose barangay, municipality, or province-wide quarantines. Duterte also clarifies travelers from countries with confirmed coronavirus cases will be banned from entering the Philippines, but Filipino citizens, their dependents, permanent Philippine residents, and diplomats will be allowed entry. He also thanks Chinese President Xi Jinping in his address, saying he knows China will help the Philippines amid the crisis. The health department confirms 3 new cases of the novel coronavirus Thursday, bringing the total number of patients who tested positive to 52. A 67-year-old Filipina, the country's 35th case of the novel coronavirus, dies Wednesday, March 11. The health department says the woman had no travel history outside the Philippines and was confined at the Manila Doctors Hospital in Manila. The Senate is on lockdown starting Thursday, March 12, after a resource person in a March 5 hearing tested positive for COVID-19. Senate President Tito Soto says the Senate will be disinfected and CCTV cameras will be checked to monitor the interactions with a COVID-19 positive resource person. 11 senators go into self-quarantine as a result. Meanwhile, Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte also goes on self-quarantine as precautionary measure after meeting Senator Sherwin Gatchalian. Many cabinet members of President Duterte also undergo self-quarantine. They are Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez III, Transportation Secretary Arthur Tugade, Public Works and Highway Secretary Mark Villar, Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea, and Education Secretary Leonor Briones. Meanwhile, the Presidential Security Group says President Duterte's foreign trips will be suspended, especially to countries where there are confirmed cases of COVID-19, as per recommendation from the Health Department. Manila Mayor Isko Moreno also places himself in quarantine at the Manila City Hall after an official trip to London. Meanwhile, the headquarters of the Asian Development Bank or ADB at Ortigas Center in Mandaluyong City is closed Thursday, March 12, after a visitor tested positive for the novel coronavirus.